I'm much better now that the ladies are back from space.
What were they up there, 10 minutes?
It's so cringy.
Look at us. We're very wealthy. Don't we look great? Admire us.
Well, yeah, and I also think it's fun to see somebody who has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
They're always the most fun.
Perry is in a full-blown meltdown after Joe Rogan absolutely shredded her space trip of the century on his show.
She essentially took a roller coaster ride.
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru.
Apparently spending 10 minutes floating in Jeff Bezos' overpriced tin can now qualify as a historic achievement. And the icing on this cringe cake, she landed, kissed the ground, and acted like she just survived Interstellar.
11-minute space flight that was touted as some kind of divine feminine gift to humanity.
That was one small step for womankind, one giant leap backwards for man.
I know you must be laughing out loud right now on this ridiculousness. And believe me, listening to the whole story is next level. Clip 4. So what happened was this Katy Perry went to space, yes, actual outer space. Technically, she floated for about 11 minutes just above Earth's atmosphere in Jeff Bezos' glorified soda can call Blue Origin. But oh no, don't you dare call it a ride.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, no one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous.
I thought it was condescending. It was belittling to women.
Lots of other people in the media were embarrassing themselves during this ordeal. Oprah Winfrey actually wept as she watched the all-female team launch into space.
According to Katy and her PR squad, this was a life-altering, emotional, boundary-breaking journey, a spiritual awakening packed into less than the runtime of a bad music video. She came back to Earth like she just had tea with aliens, dropped to her knees, and kissed the Texas dirt like she just returned from war. The drama was Olympic level too.
To going up, you said that you needed to go to space to heal. I know you're only a few minutes removed from this.
I feel super connected to love.
Goodness. I will never be the same.
You'd think she went to Mars the way she's talking about it. She said it was the second most powerful thing in her life after giving birth, not performing in front of millions, not building a chart-topping career, no. This was at 11 minutes of floating in a billionaire's capsule, and suddenly Katy thinks she's the Dalai Lama in a spacesuit. And of course every camera angle was perfectly staged, every word was lined up like it came from a branded script.
I've had so many people reach out to me and say, because you did it, it makes me think I can do it too.
You know, it's so funny. She said she's heard from women and girls who have said to her, I didn't realize this is something I could do. You know how I know that didn't happen, Megan? Because it's not something they could do. Because they're not friends with Jeff Bezos, right? Like, take us back.
The best part, she wasn't even alone. Gayle King was there, and Lauren Sanchez, a.k.a. Bezos' fiancée, was front and center like it was a bridal shower in orbit. They branded it as this historic all-female flight, the whole empowered women empowering women shtick, just with more zero gravity and less substance.
Let's not minimize this. Let's celebrate female astronauts.
That's the other thing. There has been female astronauts.
Let's not minimize.
And while it could have been a genuine moment for female astronauts and scientists, it somehow turned into 3 rich women floating around with metaphors and makeup. Katy even brought a flower with her, a literal daisy for resilience, like the universe was waiting for her to sprinkle meaning across the stars with a daisy in hand and designer boots on.
Their message for women was take up space. You guys are taking up too much space already.
And here's the joke. Nothing happened. No experiments, no challenges, nothing even remotely astronauty. It was just a controlled elevator ride to space and back. But you'd think she just solved climate change with the way she talked about Earth and love and spiritual awakening.
Olivia Wilde reposted an image of Katy Perry kissing the ground. She was acting like she got back from Apollo 13.
It's so much money to go to space. Yeah. There's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
Like, girl, you floated for 10 minutes and came back with a monologue. That's not spiritual growth, that's PR desperation. And the internet smelled it from a mile away. People didn't feel inspired, they felt insulted. But nope, it flopped harder than her last 2 albums combined.
And they added me to space. I'm bringing this. It was in my bag, and I was like, on the subway and I got the text and they were like, do you want to go to space? So
memes exploded, people roasted the kiss the ground stunt, even Joe Rogan got in on it and absolutely wrecked the whole thing, calling out the absurdity like it was performance art, because let's be real, this wasn't about science or space or women in STEM. This was Katy Perry trying to do a soft rebrand in Zero Gravity, hoping people would forget that her music hasn't hit in years and that no one's really been checking for her unless she's dressed as a talking mushroom on TVs.
Martha Stewart, God bless Martha Stewart. She posted something online because she went up in a flight that achieved zero gravity.
I boarded a Boeing 727 aircraft called G-Force One and experienced what astronauts feel when they reach zero gravity.
She wanted a comeback moment. She got a cringe compilation. I swear Joe Rogan didn't just comment on Katy Perry's space adventure. He full-on scalped it with a calm precision of someone cutting through a birthday cake labeled delusional sitting across from Tim Dillon. The man didn't even flinch. His reaction wasn't outrage. It was pure disbelief.
Gayle King, upset, had a few things that she needed to explain to those of us who don't understand what a hero she is.
And then came the deadpan question that tore the glittery wrapping paper right off the stunt. What were her findings? Joe zoomed in on that with the precision of a man who's seen too many TED Talks. He called it what it was, a dead daisy snipped from its life source, so basically not a symbol of resilience, but the opposite, a withered metaphor clutched by a pop star pretending she just reinvented astronautics.
There's nothing frivolous about what we did. Let's see how it went on board the Blue Origin spacecraft.
Perry
with her daisy?
I got you.
Then came the unspoken slap, the comparison between Perry and actual astronauts. Joe didn't have to say cosplay. You could see it written all over his face. Real astronauts go through brutal training, take real risks, operate real tech, and face the very real possibility of not coming back. Katy, she floated around in a luxury capsule that ran on autopilot and landed safely like an Amazon Prime package. No buttons were pushed, no systems were managed, just vibes, cameras, and spiritual babble.
They've gone next level. The montage of them about them.
There, it's dark. It's like death.
And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me.
Flowers for me. I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother.
They've gone next level. The montage of them about them. It's dark, it's like death. And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me. Flowers. For me, I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth. And the reason it stung so badly is because Joe wasn't even angry. He was confused, genuinely baffled at the idea that billionaires and fading pop stars can repackage a luxury experience and try to pass it off as some feminist milestone. And what made his critique hit even harder? He was right, it's not the hate that hurts, it's the accuracy. If I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced because that hurts.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
But then it got worse, because just as the memes were settling in and the mockery was hitting full stride, the FAA showed up like a reality check with receipts. They officially said what we were all thinking: Katy Perry is not an astronaut, neither is Gayle King, definitely not Lauren Sanchez. According to the FAA, you only earn that title if you perform safety-critical tasks. During the flight, none of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled, so it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride. That announcement, brutal, not because it was mean, but because it was so coldly factual. It cut through all the space-themed empowerment speeches and glittery post-flight monologues. None of them were responsible for anything the rocket flew itself. They were just there, which meant that everything from Katy's emotional speeches to her astronaut girly crew hashtag was based on a title she never earned in the internet, being the savage beast that it has pounced immediately.
None of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled. So it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride.
People tore the whole thing apart, taking up space crew, more like taking up screen time. Katy called them her astronaut sisters, like they trained in Houston and solved orbital physics together in reality. They got glammed up pose for the capsule cam and floated for a few minutes like rich kids at a luxury retreat.
Lauren Sanchez was also reduced to tears by the experience.
6 women just did the same flight that he didn't.
Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the...
And the word astronaut isn't some Instagram caption. It means something. It carries weight. It's about risk, sacrifice, and actual contribution, not metaphors and flower props. So when the FAA drew the line, it wasn't just a technicality. It was an MIC drop. It reminded everyone that if the word applies to everyone, then it means nothing. And Katy Perry borrowing that title without doing the work that didn't inspire people, it insulted them.
In case you didn't know, Alan Shepard is famous because he was the first American to go to space in 1961. So we don't celebrate the people who do it as on a tourist trip 60 years later. We celebrate the people who were the first to do it. Gail doesn't want us to say that she took a ride, but that is in fact what she did. She took a ride on a remotely piloted craft. Anyone who denies my achievement is...
Oh, the internet. They had a field day. Comment sections exploded with jokes. People started calling the crew space tourists in Gucci. Some even compared the whole thing to Disney's Soaring Ride, just with more hashtags and better cameras. Others crowned Katy as the world's first Zerog influencer, and it didn't matter how many heartfelt captions or tearful interviews followed the narrative. It already shifted. No one was buying the pioneer pitch anymore because you can't. Fake legacy, and you sure as hell can't earn it from inside a Rematech control capsule.
Earth looked so... it was so quiet. It was just quiet.
And now we're supposed to celebrate her crossing new barriers for women, meaning boinking a billionaire and getting a free ticket to space for 11 minutes.
Social media didn't just react to Katy Perry's Blue Origin flight. It incinerated that the backlash wasn't organized or calculated. It was instinctual, natural, like the internet collectively saw through the glitter and zero-gravity hair flips and went, nope, we're not doing this today.
They got in their special Oscar de la Renta designed suits, laid down in a capsule, and came back in 10 minutes, you guys.
And it all started with a savage one-liner that somehow managed to outshine the entire 11-minute mission. One tweet, 4 words. Can we send her back, courtesy of Wendy's official account? That wasn't just a roast. It was a cultural scalping. A red-haired burger mascot just torched a pop star, self-declared astronaut era in under 5 seconds.
They admired the universe, and what they were expecting was for us to admire the fact that they were rich enough and famous enough to have been granted this utterly, utterly vacuous experience from which they learned absolutely nothing.
One after the other, her kneeling on the dirt got pasted into war zone photos, reality TV reactions, and alien abduction posters. The phrase astronaut girly friends became a meme genre in itself. People slapped it onto photos of girls doing absolutely anything in matching outfits, holding lattes, taking selfies, shopping at Target. Suddenly, Katy's empowering tagline became an instant symbol for elite detachment and PR delusion.
Because, you know what I was saying? It was like quiet, but then also really alive.
Then came Amy Schumer out of nowhere. She joined the joke like a sniper with perfect comedic timing. She posted about being added to the mission last minute, claiming she just had a spacesuit in her bag. When she got the call, it was satire, obviously, but that's what made it land so hard, because it highlighted just how random and unserious the entire mission looked to the public. The fact that anyone could believe Amy Schumer's joke for even half a second said everything about how the public was seeing Perry's space saga as a punchline, not a breakthrough. Tribute, which fine if this was a photo shoot, but when you call it feminist history, the expectation changes, and what people saw wasn't a cultural reset. It was a rebrand. Space travel turned into a runway, feminism turned into a filter, and the public wasn't buying it. The flight was supposed to mark progress. Instead, it marked distance between women who fight daily battles with little to no spotlight and women who float through space for 10 minutes and get celebrated like revolutionaries. That contrast didn't empower, it alienated, and every time someone tried to reinforce the message, it got worse. The internet didn't reject the idea of women in space. It rejected the idea that this particular stunt was representative of anyone but the women already at the top. What do you think about this historic adventure? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see who roasts it the best.